my name is Sri Datta and I'm the founder of herhealthcare.co.uk. Last time I spoke about what to wear in the hot weather, and subsequent to that I've been asked a lot about how to deal with a scorching, sizzling sun if you're pregnant. So over the next few minutes I'd like to consider 5 key strategies of how to deal with pregnancy in the hot weather. And these include what to wear, how to avoid the sun, what to eat, what to drink, and of course, how to exercise in the heat safely during pregnancy. So let's start with what to wear. Last time we spoke about tip to toe, and we looked at wearing a hat or maybe carrying a sun umbrella, which still applies if you're pregnant. Similarly, making sure you've got eye protection in terms of sunglasses which protect against UV rays, but also looking at applying the appropriate factor of sunscreen is just as important. We also thought about whether to wear loose clothing in layers and natural fibres, and again that's absolutely key in pregnancy. I would add to that though, think about wearing a drawstring waistband to avoid any constriction around the tummy area, so when you're looking at wearing trousers. We also talked about tight underwear, and again the same advice applies with synthetic tight types of underwear, which should be avoided ideally during pregnancy and in the hot weather. The other factor to think about during pregnancy is the risk of swelling, which is much more common in hot weather, and that could include your fingers, your toes, ankles, or your legs in general. So at that point it's probably worth thinking about going up a size in your shoes, but also taking off any constrictive jewellery. And speaking of swelling, one of the key areas to consider is your diet. Avoiding salty foods can help keep you hydrated and also manage the swelling that you may otherwise get. Speaking of dehydration, of course, managing your fluid intake and considering what types of fluid you're drinking is absolutely essential. So making sure you drink to thirst, avoiding caffeinated drinks or too much alcohol is absolutely key. What do I actually mean by drinking to thirst, and how do you actually know if you are dehydrated or not? Well, the easiest way to work that out is by looking at the colour of your urine, and that's regardless of whether you are pregnant or not. That is your body's natural way of telling you whether you need to drink more or not. Now, before I move on to exercise, one of the other key areas to think about is how to avoid the sun. And the key time to avoid the sun is really in the afternoon when the beams are at their strongest. So trying to avoid the sun in the midday time period, or if you do need to go out, walking in the shade, keeping your journeys as short as possible is really important. If you feel weak or faint at any point, get back inside and consider getting rehydrated. The final point I want to consider is exercise in pregnancy in hot weather. By all means, exercise gently, but consider your timing. So perhaps do it at the cooler time periods of the day, either early in the morning or later on in the afternoon. And if you do exercise during the hottest part of the day, maybe do it indoors. Discuss what types of training you want to undertake with your instructor or your trainer to see if you can undertake a modified routine. So I hope that's been helpful. We've gone through 5 key areas looking at what to wear, how to avoid the sun, what to eat, what to drink, and also, of course, how to exercise safely in pregnancy in the hot weather. My name's Sri Datta and this is herhealthcare.co.uk.